Tiff and Rach here. We are the Nobodies, and this is our podcast. Welcome to our experience of our Anatomy Train structural integration training. We are going to document day by day, or as we are unorthodox, maybe every other day, maybe once a week. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We're really not prepared. Living in our little humble abode in San Diego.
We're in La Mesa in a closet.
In a closet currently, because that's where we live.
Yeah.
We just came home from our nice morning workout. And I say nice morning workout. It was pure torture. But it was something we needed.
Yeah. We needed to cleanse the palate.
And
we are approaching day number 4 of training. And we just want to document what's happening in our bodies, what we're learning, the little nuggets that we're picking up both intellectually, somatically, proprioceptively, which is all about feeling where your body is in space.
We have had the pleasure of working with Tom Myers, who is the author of Anatomy Trains.
And Kelly Chadwick.
Who is an absolute wizard of a human. And yesterday, Tiff and I have saved this very last term of school to exchange for what we call our 12 series of structural work. And we both got to exchange our first session, which was on the superficial front line of the body. And we had an experience.
Yes, we did.
Would you like to share, Tiffany?
Yeah, so a little geographical or topographical information. I am anaerobic right now. My brain is not working at full capacity. Excuse me. So the front line starts at the feet, and it starts in the extensors of the toes, which are the muscles or the fascia surrounding the muscles that allows your toes to lift up off the ground as you pick your feet up to take your steps. It travels up through what's called the retinacula of your ankle, which is kind of like a bracelet that goes in two, like, sort of diagonal directions across the front of your ankle.
Like a bandage.
And it holds those toe extensors in place so they don't go willy-nilly, the tendons of them. Then it travels up the tibialis anterior. And when we say muscles, we're really just talking about postal codes. We're talking about landmarks that are familiar to people who are trained in movement.
And anatomy and traditional anatomy.
Yeah. And tibialis anterior is the shin muscle. It's the front of your shin. If you've ever had shin splints, that's what we're talking about. It's that very front muscle that hugs up on the big front bone, the tibia in your lower leg. Then it comes up the bridle of the knee, which is, it's kind of like a shower cap of fascia that covers the knee. And then it goes up through the quadriceps tendon and through the quads, up all the way over the front of the hip, and then it starts really at the pubic bone. It picks up, and it goes through your rectus abdominis, that kind of first couple layers of muscle and
what
fascia.
People associate with the
six-pack. Yep, six-pack abs. And then it goes around at the top of the six-pack. It goes around what's called the Schultz band number 4. And that is a specific area of fascia that is very tacked down for a lot of people who close off their hearts, like myself. And then it continues up the sternum through the sternal fascia.
Your chest plate.
Mm-hmm. And then we pick up some of the front line, the superficial front line of fascia, like pec major, and the clavipectoral fascia, which is underneath your
collarbones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it goes up your sternocleidomastoid, which is that muscle that when you turn your head, if you've ever seen that beautiful sculpture, the David, it's that side of the neck muscle that really bulges out when you turn your head one way or the other. And it's what we call a contralateral or a different side rotator. So my right side of my neck is actually activating when I turn my head to the left, which was a hard thing to understand in massage school, but makes a lot of sense now.
Yes.
So So, and then that kind of travels up behind the ear and really makes a band over the top of the head to the other side. So this line, it goes from head to toe, quite literally. And for many of us, especially in the Western world, we are very pulled down in the front. And that you can witness that in people. If you sit on a park bench and you watch people walk, you'll see many people with their heads forward and down, or sort of wizened looking, rounded in the back, and really kind of closed off in the front and really dragged down. And we don't know necessarily why. We know some of the reasons why. We know some of the biomechanical reasons people sit a lot. I myself don't sit a lot, yet I'm still dragged down. And there are a lot of somato-emotional, psychological components to this work. And like
the front body is all of our very vulnerable gooey bits.
Yeah.
And putting them up front for some people is literally then leading with heart and with gut. Yeah. And that is putting the front body in a vulnerable position. And
that's what my friend here does every day.
Yep.
Day in, day out. And she is pulled down in the front in a different way than I am. Mm-hmm. But she's pulled forward. Mm-hmm. And her heart is so open that she needs more space for it. She needs more space for her behind, in front of, around that big, beautiful heart that just leads with abandon in such a lovely way.
Well, and yesterday we both had a grand experience. While I was working with Tiff, it was her main feature, as we like to say when we talk about someone's pattern, we like to kind of tease out what we would think are the latch points, or the places where we could see maybe the unraveling, or in this case, in a 12 series, what contributions of that line of fascia we were talking about
to the whole pattern,
in the body. So,
and a reminder that a pattern is kind of like a collection of postures that you've held over time and that then make a home in your body. So it's where you come back to. It's how you stand when you're not thinking about it. It's how you move without being mindful. It's where your body goes and how it operates without your awareness.
Exactly that. And when we start to unravel some of these pieces, things can feel really different. So this morning at our workout, we went a little less on the extravagant F45, give it your all, it's cardio day.
We were medium.
We went at we took it to a 40-50 of our possible output, because
so that we could feel and sort of catalog all of the new sensations. Like, this work wakes up your proprioceptors. It wakes up your body's ability to take in information. And especially in the front line, it's temperature. And both Rach and I noticed yesterday when we were working with each other that we could feel this cool sensation in our lower legs. And both of us have a lot stored in the lower leg. And there's a lot in the lower leg that needs to come online for us to really fulfill this destiny that we know we're ready for.
We're in the midst of a beautiful molting shed experience, and that's what we're on. We get to work with our models today, and our experience with Tom and Kelly and Kurt, who is our blessed otter. He's our sea otter. He is just a wonderful student teacher that we have, who really solidified our reason.
He's why we're here in
San Diego. And
really part of why we're in the program.
Yeah, he created a space when we were in Maine for our first section of Escuela.
It was our precursor class that I left thinking, I don't know if this is for me. And Kurt was sort of a lighthouse. And I was like, okay, I think there's something with that one that makes me want to know more.
And that there was a levity about him that entire time and space didn't have for us.
Yeah.
And so when we came here, we've spent so much time now in California. And for me personally, it's been a reclaiming point.
Love that.
California has been a space that I've enjoyed for my whole life, my entire adult life. And interestingly, I was, accepted to go to school here from high school, and I didn't do it. I went into massage therapy, and here it turns that I am, the turn of events, I'm in school here. Just took an extra 20 years, but here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're really excited to share with you the little nuggets of experience. One thing that Tom said that lasted with me was speed is the enemy of sensitivity. And I was like, how I could apply that to my daily life and not just the work that we're doing. And how it doesn't mean that we can't be fast and quick and nimble and efficient. It means that we do require, though, a lot more attention to our movement to be that way with sensitivity. We can be very blind without it when we are going too quickly.
Yep. A little piece of something I felt yesterday in my session was there was this area that I've known is a place of holding for me, or I can see visually when I look at myself in the mirror that my belly button and the left side of my abdomen, even though it's positioned long in the musculature, it's very even more drawn down on that side than on the right side. And there's always been this sort of curiosity that I've carried, or sense of wonder about what's happening there. Without judgment, sometimes with judgment, mostly without. And yesterday, when Rachel was working with me, she came across this place that literally tried to boot her out. It was in that Schultz band, or that, think about right around the bra line in the front of the body, around those ribs. And Kelly, our teacher, came over, and both of these powerful women together really sort of lifted me up in a way that gave me a sensation of length in my neck that I had never felt, and that I didn't even know I needed, really. Like, I knew I needed it, but I didn't have the felt sense of that. And it was really powerful, really life-changing. And that's what this work can do. It can really bring you an awareness that is so powerful that it takes you away from what is into what could be.
Tiff's words were, her goals were rooted to rise. And they started a really powerful cascade of what we both know is to come for us. And we wanted to be here for each other in the series. And it's a challenge to do it with each other, back to back, in a classroom setting with like fluorescent lighting over top of you.
And lots of energies and lots of things,
and institutional
happening.
Vibes sometimes. But it's really creating a space around us, like our own little vortex. And it's been, we're going to be very open, but maybe saving a really awesome debrief episode at the end of this to talk about comparables from our first sessions, when we first got introduced to structural work to now, or our first 12 series to the final one that we are having right now in school. Not our final forever, just our, kind of completion of this, because these are projects after all, including this podcast.
This work is a dive into the body that says, hey, how could we help you be more you? Not, here's something broken or something that needs fixing, or how can you be perfectly aligned? That is not ever the goal. The goal is, how can we comb away what's keeping you from being your truest self?
We hope that we'll keep you listening. We're going to sign off for the day.
I think I'll make some eggs.
We're going to eat some huevos and have a good day, folks. Signing out, Tiff and Rach.